Hello, welcome to Movie Musters. Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Review, Birthright for Season 4, Episode 3. This has the vibe of a classic Power episode. After being deceived, Ghost and Tommy are attempting to rebuild their company while remaining cautious of everyone in their vicinity, including one another. However, they work things out and take a step that positions them well in the long run. Until something always manages to get in the way and throws everything back into disarray. Birthright, a new connection Ghost in Power Book Roman 2. Even though Power Book Roman 2, Ghost is a completely different animal, there were strong retro vibes throughout, and Tommy and Ghost were mentioned, which strengthens my argument. After Tarek and Braden decided they would not settle for pretending to be kids at school and fighting and scheming to receive minimum wage, at least for Tarek the next step was to figure out how to rejoin the game. As I've stated previously, I'll say it again, Tarek has had a lot of luck in life. However, he was aware that nothing would be given to him or that he would meet someone by chance through someone else. Related. Michael Rainey Jr. of Power Ghost discusses Tarek going into predator mode and raises concerns that anyone could go. Furthermore, I could respect the series forcing him to struggle for this new connection by putting Braden and him on the defensive. Tarek and Braden must be ranked highly if we're going to begin ranking the ionic power duos. They've experienced numerous ups and downs, just like the other duos, but when they're up big. Birthright Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 3, Looking for a Connection. Their chat about keeping things 100 between them and ending the secrets felt like it would eventually come back to haunt them, but for the time being, they seemed to want to make things work. It was a brief little moment. Braden, take a look, dude. This has to be a cooperation if we're going to do this. Tarek, what else do you think it will be? The fuck? Braden, in other words, I want to be informed of all developments. Fucking secrets no longer. Tarek, okay, no problem. Nothing hidden. That being said, it must be reciprocal. Agree to receive customized advertisements and emails. To function, they also require them. Without one another, they are powerless. Tarek was wise to enlist Davis' assistance, particularly since he was unemployed at the time. Someone like Davis, with his ears all over the streets, might be able to at least steer them in the proper direction. Zion was not very good. He was all bluster and never even attempted to hide it when he took that brief meeting, which seemed to be little more than a pretext to assess a more diminutive form of James St. Patrick. Why should Zion trust Tarek and Braden when he has every right to reject their offer? The St. Patrick name may get you in the door, but it won't guarantee you a seat at the table, and he doesn't know them from anyone else on the street. It was a fantastic assessment of Ghost's essence that he would be prepared to address an issue before it arose. Ghost was a born problem solver you have to be if you want to do what he did. Birthright Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 3 of Weston Siblings PG. Tommy has additionally demonstrated that he is a fast thinker and not to be trifled with. There was a widespread misconception that Tommy was the more physically fit member of the couple and more likely to get his hands filthy. Though that's true, reality has demonstrated that Tommy can outsmart anyone in every series, especially in Power Book Roman 4, Force. Before you ever realize it, he can identify and take advantage of a weakness. Tarek isn't quite his father, and Braden isn't Tommy, but they're both smart individuals who understand the game. They've experienced it, and over the years, underestimating them has resulted in several fatalities. Related, I Don't Die Easy, Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 1 Review. Tarek learned how to extract one of Zion's guys in less than a day, proving that Zion made a mistake by giving him that substance. It was clever of him to utilize Effie since he knew she would follow through, and if all went as planned, it may stoke tensions among the Nomer ranks. Here, in their post-coital glow in the dorm rooms, Effie and Cane began blissfully. and that ought to have been the first indication that things would quickly spiral out of control. I apologize, but Effie has a poor reputation that she deserves. She has never been reliable and prioritizes Effie, despite the fact that occasionally she has demonstrated a willingness to defend the people she cares about. Meeting with Noma's 04E03 Birthright Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 3, she made it clear that she felt something for Cane, whether she wanted to acknowledge it or not, and she demonstrated that when she gave up a step toward her dream to assist him in Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 2. However, there is a clear disconnect between the two because of how they first got together. Cane will always be envious of Effie's loyalty, particularly in Tarek's case, and Effie ought to be concerned about what Cane is willing to do to advance. This battle between Cane and Dru has been simmering for years, and it will only get stronger every day as Dru becomes more difficult to deal with. His lack of concern for anything outside of himself is a manifestation of his past suffering. He gave in to love, and everything turned out horribly. He's now at a place where he's trying to go forward, but he's doing so with a huge chip on his shoulder and an insane amount of hatred that simply has to get out since those who were supposed to protect him have failed. None of the Tejada siblings are stupid, including Dru, yet they all appear to be lacking something. Up until lately, Dru's issue was that he wasn't giving the game his all. He has nothing else going on in his life, so the only reason it's now is because it's required. Birthright Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 3 Noma and Cane PG04E03. He may have been given this illusion by his father, but Cane is the one who lives and breathes this game. His notion that he will defeat Cane and somehow lead anything seems like a pipe dream. Rallying around to Noma's apartment, he threw himself over on a silver platter, partly out of spite for Effie and partly because he knew he could take advantage of it. Cane and Dru both want to be the leader of everything and discover something for themselves apart from the family. For the time being, that means reporting to Noma, but I firmly doubt that's what they want in the long run. Related, suspenseful scenes that left us speechless. However, Noma cannot be eclipsed so fast or so easily. Cane's ability to slip into her sheets should give him an advantage in the Cane-Dru struggle that they are hardly aware is happening. She is shown to be rather strong. When Noma stabbed Obai in the neck, was that the most delectable position to be in, speaking about being Noma's number 2? Green cards all around, indeed. Enough is enough. Obai calls Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 3 PG04E03 Birthright. Let's go on, and let's not talk about those damn cards anymore. Obai, rip. Obai had to lie in his own bed that he had made. Although he was devoted to Noma, it would be inaccurate to say he didn't have his own interests in mind. Was his death justified? Over the years, many people who may not have deserved to die have died, but Obai withheld information from Noma. Too many people learned about it, which finally caused him to pass away. It's unfortunate, but once more, his decisions have an impact. Everyone has had a sense of consequences this season, but perhaps none more so than Monet, who has been discovering firsthand that there's a genuine possibility she can't trust anyone in her life. These tiny Monet flashbacks are making a huge contribution to understanding the Tejada family and the reasons behind each person's uniqueness. When Monet saw these kids lying and packaging narcotics at a young age, she pondered why they weren't the happiest bunch of kids, always willing to defend their family. Obai in Trouble, Power Book Roman 2, Ghost, Season 4 Episode 3 PG04E03 Birthright. Monet being their mother meant that Cane, Dru, and Diana would never have a chance. I don't know if they're attempting to instill sympathy in us for Monet, who is battling the sensation that she is losing control of her entire life, but I don't get it. Apart from all that transpired with Zeke, Monet's actions are entirely her own. Her entire life has been dedicated to making her kids become liars, conspirators, and murderers. Given that she has mistreated them all of their lives, she cannot be shocked that they are now rebelling against her. See also, the greatest hate-driven couples on TV. Diana made a complete 180-degree turn from the previous season, deciding to put Monet's cruel treatment of her behind her and go on, although it was obvious that the past would haunt her. Did she forget that she spearheaded the effort to assassinate Monet? Everything was going to blow up in her face someday, and there was no way it could have exploded except over a Tejada family dinner. Diana's early season reveal surprised me, but it just makes things more chaotic. Family Dinner Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 3 Birthright PG-04E03. The Tejada family will be in an exciting position going ahead as a result of the distinct boundary that will be drawn, with Cane and Monet on one side and Dru and Diana on the other. Furthermore, it happens at a moment when Monet is attempting to strike out on her own and feels more disposable than ever. Cane is put in an awkward situation by that, particularly as he approaches Noma. Will he remain at her side? All he has is his mother, so why would he go crawl back to her? There are a plethora of possible outcomes, and in their disarray, they are unaware that Tariq is still pursuing them. When Tariq made the decision to return to the game, he didn't appear to be driven by a desire for vengeance, and while it remains a simmering thought, it is still there. Tariq has always desired to make his own decisions since he was a young child. Choices that determine his life and death. PG-04E03 Monet thinks Birthright Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Episode 3 of Season 4. One of the main problems in his connection with his parents was that he was always of the opinion that he knew what was best for him, and he didn't want other people to dictate to him what he should do or become. While it's natural to feel irritated when someone makes decisions for you, that's just a fact of life. Things are beyond our control at times. And sometimes, even though you can't see it now, it's ultimately better for you. Tariq was too near to achieving his goals, and when you combine that with a number of outsiders denying him his options. And now you have Tariq St. Patrick on the offensive, prepared to leave his mark and defeat his adversaries once more. Related, what's in store for Starz' most popular franchise as Power Book Roman 2, Ghost draws to a close? To everyone who stands in his path, good luck. Everything additional you should know. If Cane is unable to enter the house again, in the middle of the street, he was not going to shoot his brother and sister. Please. Birthright Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 3 Braden and LPG-04E03. It's unlikely that Detective Carter would care that he contributed to Obai's death, but it will be intriguing to watch the extent he goes to this season in an attempt to bring Tariq home. Tommy and Holly are being given a hard time by Braden getting high off his own supply and maybe starting a relationship with someone we don't know anything about. And nobody wants that to happen again. For the time being, moving merchandise through concerts seems like a sensible idea, but Tariq and Braden will need to figure out a means to totally mask who they are, and I don't see how they can accomplish that. To bring it all together, Cane just needs to detect rivalry and run into the two best friends at a performance. It's refreshing to see Davis acting so humbled, as opposed to the haughty Davis we've seen all season. His increased involvement with Tariq and the dirty side of things is something I enjoy. It adds to the intrigue of his persona in these closing moments. Janet talks to Monet Power Book Roman 2, Ghost Season 4 Episode 3 PG-04E03 Birthright. Do we think Janet is trustworthy? Generally speaking, I don't trust anyone in this reality, but the way she's constantly glancing in from the side is concerning me. Tariq intends to set everything on fire, but what will he do after learning of Diana? This engrossing hour advanced the story in a number of ways. We should be prepared for a lot in these next 2 episodes because we're only going to get 5 episodes right now, with the remaining episodes coming out in the fall. Tell me in the comments what you believe we'll get before the mid-season break and how you're feeling after this one. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.